Welcome to Saucy Bites, the podcast serving up all things food service and kitchen innovation, from recipes to equipment and the people driving the industry forward. We bring you the flavor behind the food. Brought to you by Ovention Ovens. Hello and welcome to Saucy Bites. I'm Chef Joe Arvin. I work for Ovention Ovens, and we just want to do a podcast that's about our business. Dan Farmer's on here. We met almost 15 years ago when we were working for a different company, but man, we've known each other. We've played, we've got around, we've definitely played together.
Absolutely.
And that'll be some of the questions that we'll talk about a little bit, and we'll get into it. Dan, just give them a snip. I mean, you have a career that's almost like any I've seen. I mean, you have done everything in this business, and that
Trust
means
me, I'm
a
tired.
lot.
Where do you think this gray comes from?
Yes, right. There you go.
I'm lucking out. Nothing on top yet.
Yeah, I'm thinning.
That's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a hell of a spell, Joe, and good to see you. Thanks for having me on, man. 2013. Way back in the early days of Middleby, right when the gold rush was happening. So, nope, all good. But again, thank you for having me on. Real quick snapshot on Dan Farmer. Please don't believe everything that's on Google. About 50% of that's true. But
now we're going to go look it up.
Yeah, I've been, in the food service industry for a little over 30 years. Started on the operations side, whether it's waiting tables or whatnot. But really the knee deep part of it was after I got out of the military, I started in restaurant management. So I was 4 years Navy, full disclosure. And, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do right away. So I knew food service, and I started managing a Burger King. And 6 months into it, they were like, kept my eyes open. There were other jobs out there. And it's like, you don't need a degree to get into this. Yeah. So I jumped right over to Applebee's and started working as a restaurant manager. And then I hit the work hours, and you know what the work hours are like. 68-hour work weeks got me thinking again, you know what, that whole 4-year degree thing, maybe we'll revisit that. So did that. And then out of that, I went for a communications degree. This will come in later, I think, during the conversation. But, I was going into what I thought maybe a communications field, whether it's sports broadcasting or something of that nature. And I realized my junior year, I got out of restaurants because I wanted weekends and evenings off. So detoured that back over to food service. And when I got out, I started as a parts guy at Commercial Parts and Service. And my cousin was a branch manager there. Always know where your opportunities are. But that kind of got me in the door. And 3 months later, I was the marketing manager for the entire company. Three divisions, Cincinnati, Dayton, Columbus, about 100 employees total. So great company. And I was very fortunate. I had a good long ride with them. But, in that process, I took what I call my sabbatical, and I was a rep for about 15 months. And I went back to Commercial Parts and Service after that. So timing can be everything. But the one thing that was nice was always good people around. Got myself involved in the Commercial Food Equipment Service Association as the co-chair of the marketing committee with a gal named Tina Reese. Some of you may have heard of her. She'd been out there for a spell, a previous president of CFESA, and got on the board of directors. So that's when, started to see the world a little bit bigger. But from there, I took a little bit of a high risk, high reward position with a company called Service Channel, facility maintenance software. That lasted maybe about 9 months. And fortunately, it only lasted 9 months because that's when I got introduced to you and the Middleby family in 2013. So 8 years with Middleby, I had 4 different roles. I started as regional VP of sales for Pitco and Blodgett, because at the time we had a blended sales team. Took that, and then I was essentially the only person, director of business development for Perfect Fry.
Yeah.
Did that for a couple of years. They liked what I was doing there, and they asked me to move down to Texas to run Cook Tech. So I was the general manager of Cook Tech for 2 years. Mm-hmm. That's when I realized that for me and my family, we're Ohio people. I talked to the Middleby team and said, hey, we'd like to go home. And they were fantastic. I mean, full credit to Middleby. Yeah. They got me set up with Globe Food Equipment, who was looking for a VP of sales at the time. Mm-hmm. So in 2019, right, came back home, trailer come in, back in the same old neighborhood we were at, and pulled in 6 months later, the world shut down.
Oh
Along with
yeah.
that, Middleby had to let go of a lot of people, and I was
Yeah.
part of that process. And a
Yeah.
lot of good people went through that process.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But but anyways, that led me over to All Points, where I spent 4 years, and then I just recently accepted a role about a year and a half ago to be president of Sesco, a rep firm here in MOFC 6 and 7, centered in the great state of Ohio. So
Oh.
there's the 3-minute version, Joe.
Let me tell you, I mean, guys listening, look at it. I've been a lot of similar places that Dan's been and a lot of different scenarios that he just
Yeah.
talked about. So I'm going to, Dan, just so you know, just
All
so
right,
don't get
bring
scared,
it on.
but I'm going to throw some questions at you that a little bit about our business, a little bit of
Sure.
fun, but I mean, the crowd, anybody watching the show needs to know you, and that's what the purpose is of it. I
Oh
would like
gosh, I don't think that's the case, but hey, I'm good for it.
you're good for it. So you've worn just about every house, every hat in food service world,
Yep.
from restaurant managers to manager leadership. What's been your wildest job story so far?
So I'm going to spin that back to kind of that arc that we were talking about, my career arc. The move to Middleby. When I went to that high risk reward job with Service Channel, they were trying to open up a new division called Fixbook. And again, with anything like that, high risk, high reward, you get new leadership and that can change in the blink of an eye. So we got a new president about 7 months into that role who thought that we had too much into a long-term project and we wanted to monetize a different division quickly. So they basically shut down my division outside of one person. And this was January 2013. I just left a 12-year, nice career spell with
Mhm.
commercial parts and service. And all of a sudden, man, I'm back on the streets, but it was just before the NAFM show of 2013,
No,
1 month before. So, man, if you're going to go into a show unemployed, there's not a better show to go to, which if you
right?
have
Yeah,
not been
yeah,
to the
I
NAFM
agree.
show, get yourself a ticket. Guys and gals, you need to be there. But
Yep.
what made that wild was in the period, because I had already booked my ticket. Thankfully, they let me expense that, my old
Yeah.
job. And they said, hey, you're good, Dan, don't sweat it. So went out there with ready for my next opportunity cards. And I had over 20 offers in a period of 4 days. It
Wow.
was a humbling experience, but a wild experience. I
Yeah.
mean, I was back up
Yeah.
at the CFSP room on a
Don't be
regular
bragging
basis.
that you got 20 offers.
Oh my gosh, talking to so many different companies. And I just didn't want to go right back into service and work as a competitor against my old boss.
Yeah.
So Middleby came knocking, and at the FER Industry Excellence Awards, they were doing the Young Lion Award.
Yeah.
I accepted a role at Middleby at that show, and they had the Middleby ice block up there, and they were taking pictures. I got a picture of me and my wife with that in the background. So it was just a wild way how it kind of came up.
Yeah, absolutely. You've been a part of the industry evolution for 2 decades.
Yep,
What's the biggest change that you've seen in
you're gonna
tech?
know this right off the gate, Joe.
Yeah.
Automation. I mean, nothing changes as far as personalities go. We are a personality business, and if
Yeah.
you've met Chef Joe, you know that's true, boys and girls. All right. So, but what's changing now is you think about, the I guess the worker crisis, and I'll call it a crisis. I think it's more of a wrinkle or a hurdle right
Yeah.
now. But coming out of COVID, we had a huge labor crunch, and we were just now getting our footing, and now a lot of our I guess our migrant and immigrant workforce has been shook up as well.
Yeah.
So, fortunately or unfortunately, our segment of the industry has really leaned on some of that
Yeah.
labor pool. So right
For
now,
years.
a lot of operators are screaming for help. And last I checked, we're not going through a huge population surge. We are ZPG and we have been for a while. ZPG is zero population growth. So
Yeah.
automation is what people are asking about. That's what I've seen. You're seeing a lot of energy in there. And I was just talking to an end user, Joe, a Thai food place. And he showed me this picture of this kind of a cylinder wok range where the wok range was shaped like a bucket and it just spun in this little induction colander and it heated up and you could just throw products in there
Yeah.
and it cooks just like a wok and dumps it out for you. So yeah, automation is right now the
We-
biggest change and it's not changing anytime soon. Automation will continue to be a bigger part of
Yeah,
people's
it'll continue to do
operation.
it. Do you think that's solely COVID, or do you think that just busted the era?
No, I think there was plenty of mitigating factors to that one. We were moving in that direction anyways, well before COVID hit. I think that accelerated things
Yeah.
when the labor crunch happened, and then, of course, the labor cost crunch happened because people didn't want to come back to work for $7 to $10 an hour. Now they want
Yep.
12. Now they want 15. And honestly, it was more competitive. And to get people, you had to pay that.
Yeah,
So when you
absolutely.
look at your bottom line as a restaurant operator, it's like, well, look, it's not like I'm making that much more money. I can't start charging that much more. Where do I make that up? And a lot of people are turning to automation right now.
Yeah. I've always said, and I don't know if you would agree or not, but if fast food, fast casual,
Yep.
all these dining, I see that. And I've always seen it as not a career, not a permanent job, but for younger individuals that come in, they need some money, they need
Yep.
insurance money. Mom and dad's taking care of this. I've always seen that way. I worked at Subway, my first job.
I
I
know.
didn't, I didn't call it a career, but
And honestly, I tend to agree with you on that one. I never thought that it was meant to be a career style job. I always thought it was supposed to be kind of an opening job to help you
yeah,
find your way through the workforce. Now, in today's day and age, there's a lot of people that have made it a lifetime job.
yeah.
And there's still plenty of places in food service where you can absolutely do that. I would argue fast food is the toughest place to do that. And that's where the struggles are going to come for trying to make it a living wage to raise a family. That's going to be tough. You can find it in food service, but it's not there. And for those fast food operators to keep those food costs down, you need a lower labor cost and or automation. So
Yep.
it comes full circle. And that's kind of where we're at right now as a society.
Yep. Um, So those kitchens, and we also know
Mhm.
square footage is just going down and down and
Oh
down because
gosh.
they can't pay the rent, they can't
Yep.
pay things, right? So to that, gas models, huge models of different things, and then electric without a
Mhm.
hood or vent saves the operator money. But do you see that just carrying on that way, or do you see it like someone will go back to gas, or they'll go back to
So we have this pause right now. Obviously, the current administration is kind of leaning a little bit more on fossil fuels. And to be perfectly frank, we have a lot of fossil fuels.
yeah.
But there is a consideration of what that adds to the environment. I think the infrastructure is set in the future for an electrified future, but there is something very romantic and nostalgic about the open flame when it
Oh,
comes to
I
cooking.
totally
Take your
agree with
logo,
that.
the Mad Love logo. What's it got in the logo?
That's right. A little bit of
It's got a
flames,
flame, doesn't
right?
it?
It's all flames
Yeah.
behind me.
Don't think
Yeah,
I'm not paying attention, Joe.
I agree with you that
Yeah.
we're moving towards electric more and more, and I think that's because of the square footage. Because when you don't need a hood system, it's gonna,
Yes.
it goes down a little bit and saves you some money.
Mhm. No, ventless is huge, and ventless will continue to be a bigger
Yeah.
part of food operations from the flexibility standpoint. And as technology improves from grease capture to things of that nature,
Yep.
obviously electric gets you in places that allow for ventless because you can't do ventless with gas. So it will continue to evolve. I think electric's going to be our future. I just think it's going to take a little bit longer than people expected to get there.
Oh yeah, that'll take a while. But
Yeah.
as president of Sesco,
Mhm.
how do you balance sales strategy with keeping relationships personal and authentic? So you're going in with a sales strategy, but you want to keep it, want to be authentic. And I'm not just
Mhm.
here to sell you something. I've always said, I'm in the consultant business that turns into sales because
Right.
I truly want to help the operator because I've been there.
Right.
I've been in their shoes. I walked in them. I know the
Oh
Hades
yeah.
they put you through, the things that can happen to you in the field. It's just so much.
So with sales strategies and keeping things personal, more cowbell. Honestly, it's more cowbell. Sorry, I kept that one for one prop. I won't use it again, I promise. No,
He had that one ready to go.
in all seriousness, I'm struggling with it right now. I'm relatively new to this role in a segment of the industry that I haven't spent a lot of time in. So I'm learning sales strategies. Now, the
Mhm.
personal side of thing, keeping the relationships real, that's been I don't want to call it a core competency, but it's something that I've had that's been uh, a skill set that I learned early.
Yeah.
So balancing those, especially being on the national stage for as long as I was for 12 years, where I was at every trade show, every
Yeah.
buying group show. Now I took this role mainly because I wanted to get a little more regional. I wanted to get kind of back to my roots, so where I started the
Yeah.
industry, and build on those more intimate relationships where I see these people on more of a weekly basis instead of semi-annually.
Mhm.
So it's been hard because I've been so in the business, working on the business, that I haven't spent as much time in those relationships as I'd like to, but they're still
Mhm.
there. And I'm super thankful for the fact that they're still there. Like when I call, the people that I need to, it's, it's like right back at it. Hey, Dan, how's
Yeah.
everything going? How's, the boy doing in soccer? How's your tennis game going? It's nice when we've been in the industry as long as we have to know that there's people that we kind of keep in our circle of trust.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
uh,
I love that part.
yeah, we
Yeah,
need it.
we
We
need
need it
it.
because it is pain and misery in the food service industry, it feels
Right?
like. So misery
Definitely
loves
is.
company, right?
Yep.
But the
Absolutely,
sales
it does.
strategy part of it, uh, I'm thankful for the mentors that I have. I'm diving into it and I'm picking things up quickly, mainly because I've seen other segments of the industry that the rep side has to kind of engage with. So I
Mhm.
understand their pains. And if you can lead with empathy, you can better understand kind of your client, if you will, and
Yeah.
present a better solution. So that part, balancing that piece with the relationship side, it's been a struggle as I'm learning this role, but I know the relationships are there, and I hope I've done a good job maintaining them. Uh,
Mhm.
I guess we'll
You
find out.
have.
I guess we'll find out.
You have. I can tell you that. You
Well, I
know that.
appreciate that, Joe.
Be modest, but I would tell you, you have. I
Good.
mean, I don't think there's many people that I know in the industry that doesn't know Dan Farmer. So, so let's say you've done well.
Gosh, I
You know what
wish it
I'm
was
saying?
more.
Tell, sorry. Go ahead and just tell us a little bit more about Sesco. What is it? What does it? What drives it?
Okay.
And what you're doing with it.
Yeah, specialty equipment sales company. Actually been around since 1972, so a little over 50 years old, and we are an ESOP. So that's one of the nice things about our company. We've been an ESOP since the 20th century. This was before
Yeah.
2021 even came in, and everybody on our team has a vested stake in where we're going. And I've
Nice.
seen more and more companies kind of take into the ESOP role.
Hmm.
I think that's helpful because it builds value. A lot of times, as fickle as companies can be, whether it's private equity or publicly traded, you can kind of feel disconnected to the people that are making the profits, if you will.
Yeah.
Uh, as we have a profitable year, that profit's not only shared with the team from time to time, but it's the main place it's shared is in share equity. So each employee earns a certain amount of shares every year, so they're able
Hmm.
to get that back. But Sesco, we are a little bit of a hybrid rep firm as well. We're a distributor slash rep. So about 40% of the manufacturer partnerships that we have, we actually take stock, and the POs are written to us, and we distribute the equipment. So we're a little bit different than the standard rep that is
Yeah.
mainly kind of the middleman, if you will, in that we actually have an inside sales team. We're shipping products straightly out of our inventory and we maintain stock of it. So, uh, yeah, but we've been around a long spell, operate in MOFSI 6 and 7. So we operate in 6 states.
Yeah.
And it's great
Explain what
because, again,
Moxie is for
I
anybody
get
that
home.
doesn't know.
Oh, okay. So for those of you out there, kind of industry 101, MOFSI is
Yeah.
Manufacturers Association of the Food Service, or Manufacturers Agents of the Food Service Industry. Got to be careful there. There's lots
Yeah.
of acronyms out there. So yeah, and it's been, I don't know exactly how long MOFSI's been around, but certainly they're I guess the flagship for all the manufacturer reps that kind of work in our industry
Yep.
and make us go. And sorry about the sun glare. Sun decided to show up here.
No, we're all right with that. Another thing, another thing that I've seen and haven't seen a lot of it, but I believe would be an excellent partnership
Mhm.
for a rep group to buy or work with food brokers.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is because one side's food, one side's equipment, obviously,
Mhm.
but they can take the food broker's food, cook it in that equipment, and then be
Yep.
able to do recipes and things where they share. Do you think that's value, or do you think there's, it's a separation or we shouldn't be
So it's
together?
interesting. I have not seen I guess combining of the two. But as far as
Yep.
partnerships go, absolutely. We're involved in an active partnership with one right now, and that's something that we literally have put into place here in the last few months.
Mm.
And that came from my back knowledge when I was doing Perfect Fry. One of the ways we sold Perfect Fry was through the food distributors, and they say, hey, this machine's going to pay for itself if you take our food product for the next 3 years and sign a contract.
Yeah.
So there is a natural synergy there that
Yep.
maybe isn't leveraged enough. One of the ways that we've done it is we're relatively new in the pizza segment, and we found some pizza centric food brokers that focus on specialty ingredients for that segment.
Oh,
And
nice.
naturally, they need specialty equipment to make sure that product comes out correctly. So we actually have some partnerships right now where their sales team can engage our sales team. We have a way of making sure they're financially rewarded for that effort, and we work together. Yeah, there's a natural
Uh,
synergy there that has not
or
been taken advantage of
advantage
nearly
of
enough.
as much.
And damn it, now you just shared my secret, Joe. So it's a horrible idea. Don't anybody do it.
Yeah,
No,
don't
horrible,
ever come up with that. You're never done it.
horrible. Yeah.
So over the years, that I've known you, you do a lot of public speaking.
Mhm.
Can you tell me a story where it may not have worked out, or give me something that, how did it go? What was the
Okay.
flow?
Well, I will tell you, if you're scared of public speaking, the only way to get over that is to go and do it. That's what I'll start with. But it didn't really happen in our industry. Uh, I'm going to get a little tour back to Texas when I was down there for Cook Tech. Part of my spare time, remember what I went to school for, right? Communications. I wanted to be a
Yeah.
sports broadcaster. So I actually did public radio for
Oh,
the Lake
nice.
Dallas Quarterback Club, which is a Division 5A football down in Dallas. And I got to get on the air. So one of the games that we broadcasted, Joe, it was a fantastic game. The score went back and forth, or interception returns for touchdowns, kick returns for touchdowns, blocked field goals. The game was so good, we got picked up at something the ESPN affiliate down there, 96.7. The Ticket has a thing they do every year, which is Call of the Week and then Call of the Year. We
Oh,
got
nice.
Call
I
of the
like
Year. So my first year in Texas, I'm on high school radio getting Call of the Year. I don't know why people like listening to this voice, but hey, who am I to argue with?
that. Oh,
So
it sounds pretty good there.
as we were on the air, I heard my sideline reporter say, "Holy, I can't believe we did it!" And I was like, "That's awesome, Cannon, but you can't say on the air, you know." And I didn't say it, but one of the things when we got called the year, we got called down to the radio station. So I've got a checklist on my bucket list that I've actually been beeped on live air in Dallas on 96.7 The Fan because I explained it out and I said the S word right on air. So that's really it. I mean, anything else, you're going to get the panic, you're going to get the heart
Yeah.
palpitations when you're doing it. But honestly, and you're going to mess up words too. I'm sure you have, Joe.
Yeah. Oh,
Heck,
it's
already in this
crazy.
interview, we've
Sometimes
messed
you
up
get up
words.
there and I've had it where, you get up there and there's a crowd that kind of laughed,
Yeah.
or, clapped while you were coming up or being introduced, and then the mic wouldn't work.
All
you're, up,
kind of stuff, right?
you're up there doing that and it don't work. And then they need 5 minutes or, whatever in the
That's it.
business.
So that's why practice makes perfect.
Absolutely.
Get out there, do the presentations. You will build a comfort level to it over time, but
Yeah.
expect stuff to happen and just roll with it. Don't
Yeah.
let it hang you up.
Absolutely. I like that. I
Yeah.
always said that it's very much improv. you
Hmm.
you have to move with the flow. You got to improv,
Oh
on,
man.
right then. That's second. You got to make the decision. I got to improv this and get through it, and no one will know.
And they usually don't. That's the beautiful part. So just keep talking and you'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
In a leadership role,
Mhm.
what have you learned about leadership? Like, I know you're there, but what have you learned as being a leader?
Uh, I even wrote an article. It's like calling like not the unwanted leader, but I thought a lot about this. Look, I had no intent on leading a company coming into this. I
Yeah.
think it can be a calling for people, and you don't know when you're going to be called to it. It
Oh, absolutely.
just happens.
Yeah.
And I guess what I've learned about leadership in this industry is, I guess, don't sell yourself short. Everyone has the ability to be a leader inside, and you don't know when you're going to be called to it. But don't take that calling for granted. When you get the opportunity, grab it. And you might fail at it. Look, the whole service channel thing that I explained earlier, that job lasted 9 months.
Yeah.
I was raising a young family. I didn't know what was coming next, but don't not take the chance when that leadership
Yeah.
thing calls. If you look at some of the leaders that we have today, I would say a lot of people didn't expect it to happen, but right now we're in a transition where you've got a generation that's retiring, and this generation coming up, I mean, they literally speak differently. Six,
Yeah.
seven, man. Like, and we
Oh,
were Beavis
absolutely.
and Butthead. We were the great cornholio. So the the gaps in communication, that's where we got to find our new leaders now. And that's why I'm kind of saying, if that opportunity comes, don't be afraid of it. And you might fail at it, but
Mm.
grab hold of it, because this industry needs the next generation of leaders right now. I mean, God help us, Sesco picked me to be their president.
Yeah, we need some
So
work.
look, man, we need some
We need
work.
some work.
But I guess the one thing I learned is, like, the leaders that are out there that I value the most were the ones that, grabbed at the opportunity. If I look back 20 years, I say, I didn't see that coming. Great. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. That's what I'd hope. Find the
Yeah.
people that are coming up, and you might not know who the next leader is, but keep the door open. They might
Yeah.
surprise you.
Oh, I think so too. I've always said, as a leader, I try to empower the people.
Yeah.
Like, I just, and like you were saying it directly, look, I want to find your spot. Where do you go?
Yeah.
I've always seen people, or somebody that loses a job, and I've known, man, they're so good at this.
Mhm.
Even though they were hired at this, and then I found out and I worked with them, I was like, man, can't do this
Yeah.
maybe, but he
They
can
can
do
surprise you.
this. I love that when you find the fit instead of just jumping to something, you find the fit and you understand. Um, you've also done, you've been called high energy. Now, I
Really?
know that's weird for me to say,
Yeah.
and creative. Um,
Yeah.
I love that. What do you get out of the people say you're creative and high energy, or
Yeah.
do you say it?
So, mostly the feedback that I get from other people. I tried to, when I saw this, and, thinking about these questions earlier, I got a little bit of an idea we'd have this one. But, with a high energy creative, honestly, it came later in life. My grade
Mm.
school and high school, believe it or not, I was voted most shy in my 8th grade class. Yeah.
All
And
right.
and in high school, I had parents that got divorced early. I kind of crawled into my shell and everything else. But when I came out of that shell, I was enthusiastic and ready to go. And the feedback and the energy that was returned to me by the people that I surrounded myself with
Yeah.
helped me sustain that high energy. So it's one thing to go out there with a little, caffeine and a little sugar high, right? But
Yeah.
if you go into a dark place, you're not able to share it with anybody, that's going to wear off quick. If I'm in a
Yeah.
room with the people that I enjoy spending time with, and even if not, even if I'm just in a room with people that I can energize, I try to do that because I know that energy is going to be returned to me. And when it is, man, that's when stuff happens, because then you get a lot of new ideas on the table and people are in a decent mood. People are sharing more. So my energy levels are sustained by the people I surround myself with. It doesn't
Oh, I
come
like
directly
that.
from
That's
me.
good.
It starts there. It's not how it's sustained.
In your business, in your life, and I'm going to go kind of right now. What is your favorite piece of food service equipment, and why is it secretly a problem child? So I'm
Oh,
saying, something you
mm,
love. It's a good piece of equipment, and it doesn't maybe it perform as well to others as it does to you.
okay. Um, I'm gonna go old school on this because there's lots of great new equipment out there. Man, there's
Yeah.
so much
Oh,
technology.
absolutely.
Man, my favorite piece of equipment is the old tried and true 6 burner range. And I'm telling you, Joe, you're a cook, man. You should know this.
Yeah.
The nostalgia and romanticism about fire. I mean,
Yeah.
fire is how we got ourselves out of the Stone Ages, for God's sakes, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So, and when you think about anything that you see from a culinary standpoint, the opening credits for any food show, what do you see? That grease hitting the fire and the big flash. You go to a teppanyaki restaurant, what do you see? The big
Yeah.
flames, right? When they do the onion.
Yep.
The 6 burner range is tried and true. A good chef can create almost any dish out of it. Um, and you got the fire. And I think there's something that kind of tugs at the soul of anybody human when
Yeah,
you're around fire because of how far it throws back to where we came as
yeah.
a species. And I think that sounds kind of deep, and I apologize for that. But there's something
Well, we
romantic
really
about
did. We started
the
over
six burner
flames with
range
a bucket of stew.
because that's
I
where it
mean,
starts, right? That's the first thing you're exposed to.
yeah.
So now, why it's a problem child? I can't carry it with me. It's
Ooh,
pretty
I
damn
like that.
heavy. Now, if I got a
All right, that's
propane burner,
good.
I can take a propane burner, but I'm limited there. That's
No,
really
yeah,
it.
I like that a lot.
Yeah,
After hearing that, pretty close to one of my favorites.
it should
Just
be.
because it does so, and we want to work saute, and you're working garmage. That's just cold food. I get over here
Yeah.
and get to just salt it. Now, some of the burns really hurt,
Yep.
but it's still great working the line. Uh, how do you keep Sesco innovative in such
Oh
a
gosh.
traditional market?
Wait a sec. We just talked about me having my favorite piece of equipment is a 6 burner range, and you're asking me about innovation. Really, Joe? Come on. Uh, all right. So it's been a, a little bit of struggle out the gate. With the rep industry, we kind of live in the middle. A lot of times we're not overly capitalized and we have all this revenue coming in. We can just justify, hey, we need, $1 or $2 million for this or that.
Yeah,
So it's trying to find my spaces to help lift the company up. One of them is as simple as we're in the middle of a reimaging project, which you can't really see in the sun, but we just did the logo for the first time in the 21st century, just kind of
uh,
re-imaged it.
yeah,
And that's because we're trying to add new revenue streams. So sometimes the innovation isn't necessarily technology; it's innovating our offerings to the end user. So we're starting
yeah.
a full hospitality division, which is stemware, tableware, plateware, things of that nature. So I guess we're innovating different revenue streams coming in, and then tools to keep us organized. We added HubSpot.
I
And
could
my
use
thinking
those.
on that was from an innovation standpoint is we run so fast, so hard, and have so many different opportunities. I mean, you look at a rep's line card, it can be anywhere from 15 to 35 different lines on it. How do you keep all that together?
Yeah,
So having a tool set that you can access is really going to help you. So we've added some technology with HubSpot. We've added a new division to kind of innovate our revenue streams, and we're innovating a little bit by what we add to our website as an offering. I mean, we have so many research tools and startup tools to use the equipment that we're offering right at our website. So we're finding pockets, but it's been a challenge for sure.
yeah, definitely has. Let's just say you had a new rep come into
Okay.
your office, just come in your office saying, makes an appointment, hopefully, but
Okay.
comes in and says, man, tell me what do I need to do to succeed in this business? Just to what I guess your tips
Man.
to survive. What are those ones that says, I'm not going to be here 9 months? What makes that?
Yeah. Uh, and we already talked about this, Joe. Learn to be comfortable around people. If you're going to be a rep, you're going to be in front of people every day. And if
Yeah,
you're not in front of people every day, I would argue you probably ain't doing your job as a rep. Because you got to be in the field. You are the face for those 20 to 30 partners of yours that you have on that line card.
yeah,
And if you're not comfortable around people, you're in the wrong industry. So learn to be
absolutely.
comfortable around people. That's one. And you said 3 tips. I'm trying to do 3. Stay organized. I talked to you a little bit about HubSpot there. Again, we can be pulled so many different directions as a rep. Your phone's ringing, the emails are coming in, you've got 2 or 3 appointments lined up. You still got to get home because your wife had to run out of time. You got to pick the kid up from soccer practice. Man, if you're not organized, stuff's going to
Yeah,
fall through the cracks. And I'm not talking about little stuff. I'm talking 20, 30, $40,000 opportunities. Stay organized.
yeah,
And the most important one, Joe, and I think any rep will tell you this, follow up and follow up fast. Don't wait. If you got, and I'm guilty of it.
yeah,
I will be one of the first ones to tell you I've had, gaps with it myself. But
yeah,
if you're coming into this, if you can follow up with people, that's going to be 90% of the day. Now you can say, hey, I'm not 100% sure. Let me find out for you and I'll get back to you, before the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you say you're going to get back to them before the end of the day, get back with them before the end of the day.
Oh, absolutely.
That's it. They just need information. When people have the information, and especially if you're the ones that get them the information, guess who's on deck for getting that job? Because
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of six-burner ranges out there. That's just the
Yes, there
reality of our
are. There's a
business.
lot of those for sure.
Follow up and follow up fast. So that would be my kind of 3 pieces is, comfortable on people, stay organized, follow up.
All three are good. All three, I think, in being in the
Yeah,
business, being in any sales business, those are the three. I mean,
I
it
would agree.
really is. I mean, you've got to be able to have those traits and those, being able to follow up and keep yourself organized for your sales. I mean, all that's good.
Yep.
So, all right, you ready, Dan?
Ready for
I
what?
do this thing. I do this thing called the quick fire round.
All right, let me get a sip of water.
So we just want you to basically don't think. I mean, you're good at that. just pull it off the top of your head. We'll do it. Coffee or bourbon?
Bourbon.
There's no judgment zone here. So you're
No. That was an
the
easy one.
piece of equipment you would like to bring if you were on a desert island. What would you bring?
2-compartment walk-in.
Nah,
One
gotta
for
keep
keeping
it.
stuff cold and one for
Yeah,
shelter.
yeah. If I'm hunting, I got it. I can put it
That's
away.
it. And I got a roof over my head now.
Nice. Which kid? What is
See,
the
I got you.
worst? Yeah, you got me. What's the worst disaster that you've ever witnessed? I have a big one, but yeah, just give me the worst disaster that you walked in on.
I don't recall many big disasters in the kitchen. Now, plenty of big episodes. I guess instead of a disaster is how I dealt with stress. And the biggest one for me was I would just go into the walk-in freezer and punch fry boxes. So that was my release early on in this industry because you're going to be stressful points. So not necessarily a disaster, but I haven't witnessed a lot of big disasters. What's yours?
Oh
Not to turn
man,
this around on you.
mine's a story back when I actually worked for a rep group. It was kind of the first time I'd gotten business.
Okay.
The owner of the company, his name's John Butterfield. I'll never forget it.
Okay. No.
And he's taking me out. I'm riding with the oil guy. So
Okay.
for the fryers, and there was an oil that was coming out. It was the extra life type of oil to go through. So
Okay.
so he takes me into a donut shop. Why? They use a lot of oil, right?
A lot of
This
oil.
comes through. They use a lot of oil.
Yeah.
So, and this was, we come between 2 and 4. You don't want to get in any shift where they're having dinner or lunch or breakfast. So you come through there when it's kind of dead. I was witnessing a young fellow.
Oh boy.
He put a 2x4, okay, over the
Yeah.
kettles to walk across and pull the hood vent system racks down to clean them.
Okay.
And yes,
Please tell me he didn't fall in.
Oh, yes, he did. And I was right there. And
Did he live?
yes, he did live because he only got his bottom burnt. He got out real quick. Now he had burns everywhere.
Yes.
But his what I remember most is his jeans stuck
Oh
to
man.
it. I was
That's
like, oh
that's a
yeah, and
horrible
that
disaster.
literally, I think I tell people that, and they're like, "Yeah, Joe, that's the worst I've ever,
Man,
worst I ever heard."
I wish I could say that's uncommon. I mean, the first disaster that I heard about was a person who was standing because when I worked for Pitco, we would talk about fryers on a regular basis, and those little like small metal covers to cover the vat. Somebody was standing on those to change out hood filters.
Don't get it.
Hey, the lesson here, kids: don't mess with fryer oil. Okay.
Lesson learned, right?
Use a
Lesson
noggin.
learned.
Yeah. So
Okay.
anyway, didn't mean to turn that around on you.
That's all right. What do you think the most overused phrase in the food service business? What is it?
Well, back of the house, it's on the fly. Because you hear it all the time. Now, granted, is it overused? Well, not really, because you have to use it. It's like, I need it on the fly. Let's go.
Yeah.
But it's so typical of our industry, and it's kind of like a touchstone of it. It's like our industry has this weird sense of urgency, and at the end of the day, we're burgers and fries. So I think on the fly Is everything on the fly, guys? I think we overuse it maybe a little too much. It's not always an emergency.
Yeah.
Take a breath. Let's make it happen.
Let's make the order come in. Yep.
Yep.
You travel a lot. Obviously, we go to food shows and stuff. What's your favorite city?
Okay. Chicago. A
Oh,
lot of my
wow.
first
And why?
experiences, in the industry of Chicago. That's where I got to meet a lot of the people that I know in the industry because of National Restaurant Show. It's the one time a year that we all get
Yep.
together in Chicago. We all have fun in the evenings. We all get a lot done during the days. You know, you live on 4 hours of sleep because you're trying to squeeze it all in. Lots of eye drops,
Yep.
lots of throat lozenges, but man, lots of fun. Most of my
Lots of-
best moments that I recall traveling, and there's great places to go. I mean, you got Scottsdale, New Orleans, Napa.
Yeah.
There's so many great places, right? But I mean,
For
some of the best
you.
times I had in the industry are Chicago.
Yeah. I always tell people, and I don't know if you know this, but the NRA, my birthday is May 16th. So
I was
most of
not
my
aware of
entire
this.
life, I've been at the NRA
Yeah.
to
Happy
do
birthday
that,
to you. I'll remember that.
which is so weird. But
Yeah.
now I'm gonna jump into. I've heard stories. I haven't been there
Okay.
that you do a good karaoke.
These stories may or may not be accurate.
I don't know, man.
What do you mean, Joe?
You want, I'm not gonna put you on the spot to sing.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no. I enjoy a good karaoke bar anytime I travel, whether it's a buying group show, the NRA, and that was one of my first NRAs was down at Mother's, and
yeah.
that's how I introduced myself to the Middleby sales team. I don't know if you were there that time or not,
I was
but
not. I just
we
heard the
just got
stories
done
the
with
next
Lou
day.
Malnati's and Stephanie Martin, Bethany Trombley. Hell, even
My
Steve Spittle
favorite.
was out with us that time. We had a good time.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Oh, the karaoke part I get, but if you personally had a life theme song, what would that be?
Oh, nothing but a good time. Poison.
Nothing but a good. Oh yeah, I
How
like that one.
can I
Okay, all right.
resist?
So you like
Because
a good time?
typically that's what I'm looking for.
Uh,
And whether it's on a soccer pitch, pickleball court, broadcasting games, having fun with the family, yeah. If I can find a good time, man, that's good living.
garlic or breadsticks? Garlic bread or breadsticks?
That I don't even know why that's a question. Garlic bread. There's no artistic expression with breadsticks at all, man. Garlic bread, you can have some fun.
I totally believe that a lot. If you had just one advice, just one, we've talked about 2, 3, talking to people.
Yeah.
You had
Yeah.
one of somebody entering the food service industry, not necessarily a rep or a sales guy,
Yeah.
just entering the food service as a whole. And I'm saying he's new coming
Yep.
into food service. What would give you that one advice you would give to a young professional?
And I'm going to quote, and I do not mean this to be political, but I heard this first from Barack Obama. Learn how to get stuff done. You know, I think we all can see when things don't work, right? And we see it every day, whether it's your personal life, professional life, there's always things that don't work out the way you're going to think. And then if you come with an idea, that's great. Who's going to execute that idea? Be the person that gets stuff done, especially if you just get into the industry, because I'll tell you what, people are watching. You know, I joked around with a couple of people that actually consider me a mentor, which I would question their judgment on that. But in those types of cases, you know, I try to tell them, it's like, look, people are watching. If you're the person that saw that problem and presented a solution and then did the solution, man, you're the one that's getting picked up. You're the next new regional VP. You're the next GM. You're the next president because you're showcasing the ability to accept the challenge and get it done. Because a lot of people talk about what's going wrong. Very few step up and try to make it right. So be the one
Absolutely.
who learns how to get stuff done.
Learn how to get stuff done. Y'all heard it here first. One of my favorites, is work hard enough where they can't unsee you.
Yes, I would argue those go hand in hand, right?
Right?
Because
Yeah,
if you're
that's why
learning to get
I
stuff
was like,
done
wow, that's
and you're working hard to get that done, that effort is what people will look for. Because,
absolutely.
I mean, what do we got? We're in front of keyboards all day long, it feels like sometimes, or we're on a cell phone, and that is a necessity. but that's
Yeah.
not necessarily getting stuff done. Getting
Yeah.
stuff done is getting in knee deep and getting into the weeds with a project.
Yeah.
And sometimes being on the phone, I take that back. Sometimes getting people on the phone can be getting stuff done
Can
rather
be.
than sending an email and waiting for a
Yep.
response. But yeah, it's great advice, Joe. No doubt.
Salespeople in general, they're not paper. They don't like to sit in an office and do paper. I
Yeah,
always tell my guys, look, get out in the field. That's not happening here anyway. I mean,
that's
that would
correct.
be this sales would be way more important to me than proper
Mm-hmm.
paperwork. And I don't mean that. I know Salesforce. I know these things that you've got to add things in. You got to get it done. But too many reports or too many of this or that in a month kills a
That's all
salesperson.
sales management. It's not sales procurement. It's not sales generation. Sales generation is being out in the field.
Yeah. I 1,000%, man. If you're sitting at
Yeah,
home, you're not getting stuff done, in
that's
my
it.
opinion. And everywhere I've worked, and I think the best one was with Blodgett as their
Mhm.
corporate chef. They knew how to use that, meaning they had, and you spoke of it, Stephanie Martin, Bethany
Oh yeah,
Trombley. I mean, they used the chef every day. And what I mean by
yeah.
that is to put it is they knew this is going to benefit me having Joe because the back of the house. I could go to the dock with
Hmm.
no appointment and my white coat, boom, I'm in the back door.
Yeah.
And a lot of salespeople, including myself, don't have that. We just don't have it. That's a bonus when I always tell the sales guys, I'm like, guys, bring it, use it. I mean, that's your
Hmm.
open door. That's the thing that can really help you get that relationship going. Because I'm in their shoes. I've been in their shoes for many, many moons. So, so we've
Leverage it.
got it there. So, Dan, thank you so much for joining
Oh my
us.
gosh, that was
Um,
awesome, Joe.
I think the audience learned a lot. I think that we told people about the business enough, and we're probably going to have you on again just because, well, if you're willing, um, just because I think we can dig a little deeper and have some fun with it, but also teach because I think that there's people that want to be in our business
Yep.
that just they have no clue. They have no real idea other than maybe my dad was in it, my mom was
Right.
in it, or there's more money, like you said, besides, and that's obviously
Yeah.
that's why I got out of it. I was chef. I worked
Hmm.
nights, weekends, holidays, and my family couldn't take it. We started to where they couldn't take it.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to look at my wife and my family and go, we got to get out of this. We just can't.
It's a
Um,
big world out there,
yeah,
and I'm first
exactly.
off flattered that you had me on, Chef. Uh, would be more than happy to join you again. And you're not wrong. There is a kind of a mentoring opportunity here, and I don't think enough people realize the fantastic career paths that are available in commercial kitchen equipment and our
Yeah.
side of the industry. And we just got to keep educating them, Joe.
Absolutely. That's the way of the world. Well, guys, you've been on, Dan, you've joined Saucy Bites. That's what the podcast
I
is.
dig it.
It'll be pushed out to social medias. But again, Dan, that I admire everything you do over the years. I'm like, man, you just keep
Years.
growing. I love people that keep growing. Like you don't stop. Hey, I got to have this. I want to go here because
Yeah.
I want to grow. I think I've always said a chef in the restaurant, if they stay at a hotel for 20 years, they haven't learned nothing. They kept one menu, one thing, and I don't mean nothing. They've learned
I
their
know.
menu. They know what to do and they know
Yeah.
how to execute it perfectly because they've done it for so many years. But I always say, go to the next place. Go somewhere
There's a
where you
delicate
can,
balance,
yep,
and not
you
everyone's
go learn.
wired that way, I would say, but
Yep,
I would still argue consistently challenge yourself. It's the only way to grow. That's why they're
yep,
called growing pains. Okay?
yep, absolutely. I one time went to a Japanese restaurant, had no experience cooking it. I told the
Yep.
owner, it was a mom and pop type place. I told him, I said, look, I'll work for free. 2 days a week, I'll work for free if you will train me Japanese
By the
food.
way, he doesn't work for free anymore, just for the record.
Yep. Let's get that out of the way quick. So, guys, thanks
yeah.
for joining us. Dan, thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next time.